I had some students write to me that they were having difficulty with 5.9. So what I did is I went and made a practice test just on this section, got some examples, and I've sent along the actual problem. And then this is the work that I'll go over with you in some detail. So we have two investments for number one totaling 32,500. One was at 7%, one was at 4%. Well, first we have to divide this 32,500 into two parts. So I said part was X, part was 32,500 minus X. I'm saying the X is at 7%, this part at 4%. So 7% of X plus 4% of the other equals the investment, and that was 1,540. So I multiplied through by 100. Then I've rewritten the equation. I grouped like terms, got 3x, subtracted this from both sides, got 24,000, divided both sides by 3, and remember the x was the 7%, that turned out to be 8,000. Then subtracted the 8,000 from the 32,500 and got 24,500. Example 2 was someone had 4 scores, and what would they need on the 5th score to have a 50% or 50 average? So I included this as one term, found the average by dividing by 5, but then multiplied both sides by 5. So the 5's would cancel out, and that's 50 times 5, which was 250. Added these up, got 185, x plus x, subtracted 185 from both sides, and I got x is 65. In this case, it's dollars. Again, the details of the problem are in a separate file. For number 3, this was similar to the price of the ring that we did in our PowerPoint slides. The cost of buying sunglasses by the salesperson was $80, but this person wanted to make a 20% profit of that $80. So what was the price? And they also wanted to give a 20% discount. So what was the price of the original, well, what was the price he was going to put in the sales case there, featuring this? So we said that was X. Well, he was going to give a discount of 20% of that. So this was the sales price minus the cost, and then he wanted to get 20% of his cost as profit. So when I did this, this is 1.00, I got 0.80x minus x equals 16 when I did this multiplication. Subtracted, well in this case added the 80 to both sides, got 96. Then I divided by 0.80, and I had the sales price of the glasses is $120. Again, this is very, very similar to the one we did of the ring. Here's another averaging problem. We had 5 scores. What will the 6th score be? Again, divided it by 6, multiply both sides by 6, added these up, subtracted this from the 480, we get x is 57. Now here are people driving toward each other, a total of 1,830 miles. This was 3 times the rate that we didn't know. This person, 3 hours times the rate plus 60 miles an hour faster. We want to know what the rate is. Well, our equation is this, 3r, plus 3 times this rate will give us the total distance. So this one was pretty straightforward. Cleared parentheses, r is this, 275. Add 60 to it, you get 335. You're going pretty fast there. 6 was an easy one. Distance equals rate times time. This was the distance. This was the rate. We divide both sides by 57. We get time is 8 hours. For number 7, we had 2 trains going in the same direction. One leaves at 2 p.m., arrives at 10. The other leaves at 8 p.m., arrives at 10. So this was 8 hours at a certain rate. The other was 2 hours at a faster rate. And the distances are the same. So this is distance, time times rate, or rate times time. Again, rate times time. These distances are the same. Clear parentheses, solve for r. The rate was 50 of the slower train. The faster train was 150 miles per hour more. That was 200. Here's just another averaging problem. We've done some like this. How many do you have altogether? 6. So you multiply both sides by 6. Add these up, then subtract this from that. X is 49 minutes. Here you're purchasing something with a 30% discount, and that costs at the cash register $14. Well, if you get a 30% discount, then you're paying 70% of that original price. So there's your basic equation. Divide both sides by 0.70, you get x is $20. Now, this one was the challenging one. There was one that was really challenging, and you have 2 investments. You'd have to read the details of this, but 2 investments, one at a particular rate, the other at that same rate, but this much more. So this principal times that rate equals this principal times that rate. But this one we said exceeded this one by $517. So to keep it in equation, we had to put that 517 on this side, and then the rest is just multiplying through. Eventually we found that this rate was this. We had to add 0.007 to this to get that, and then we had to convert it to percent by moving the decimal place over. This is 9.5%. This one is 10.2%. Now again, on the other paper you have these all written out. This would be the work to support it. I don't want to keep it too long. It's just under 10 minutes.